It's time to take a stand, bringing the truth to a fucked up land. We've had enough of the lies and deceit. We're done for good with the toxicity. All hail thanks, we are the Rabyd Nation. All hail thanks, we are the Rabyd Nation. All hail thanks, we are the Rabyd Nation. We are the Rabyd Nation.
All right, and a hearty shout out to all of you in the Rabyd Nation. Welcome, one and all, whether you're a citizen, a senator, a tourist who's just subscribed, or you're looking across the border and wondering whether you want to move in and look around and become a citizen and immigrate to the channel. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Rabyd Atheist channel and the live streams. And I'm your host, Ed Rabyd, a former pastor turned atheist, now a compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to Deconversion Hangout on a Thursday. We do this every Thursday where we hang out and talk deconversion, talk some of the struggles that we might have. If you're deconverting or interested in why people deconvert, you're certainly welcome to listen in and note what we have to say. We tend to just kind of hang out, have a little fun too as well. So it's kind of more of a brave space, a safe space, whatever the hell you want to label it, where people can talk about their deconversion, and I will protect you from all the lovely theists who like to come by and do drive-bys and things like that. So Deconversion Hangout is definitely for you if you are deconverting or are interested in it or want to know some of the real reasons that people leave the faith. That's why we're here. So we're always willing to have that conversation. Just a note over in chat, there is a super chat goal. If I reach that goal, I will wear whatever hat is chosen by the poll. I have to note that I'm looking at Valentine's Day hats, so there'll be a couple of new ones there. There might be a new silly bunny hat at some point too. So there will, of course, be no replacement for the holy bunny hat, which is the official hat of the religion known as Fangsology. But there might be other bunny hats that we will entertain for those of you that are of lesser rank, such as bishops and apostles and stuff around the world. So we'll see what happens there. But thanks once and all for coming, and thanks for supporting the channel through that mechanism. It's really a low-key way of me saying keep supporting my work, because I'm trying to normalize atheism and deconversion, and that's what we're trying to do here today. Let's get a quick roll call. The Cranky Elder Gods were here in attendance, so thanks, Cranky, for coming. Fred was here. Michael's here, and the mighty Philbert, probably summoned by his song. Can't live on God's earth with knowledge and power and reject God is paradoxical. You have to prove that it's God's earth. Like, you haven't proven that that's a claim without evidence. Prove that it's God's earth. Does God have ownership papers that he presents to us to show that it's his? Because it sounds like a made-up thing. Like, I mean, you still have to prove that it's God's earth. I reject God. I don't reject God. I reject your claim that there is one. Okay, because you haven't bothered to prove that. So there you go. All right. Hey, it's Mom with her other name. We mean Goblin Queen. There's Earl. How you doing, Earl? Yeah, Snivel the Lake one. Yeah, we got one. There you go, Ron. Bringing sexy back. There you go. Yeah, you got the wrong account there, girl. How many accounts do you have, by the way, Earl? Probably for many different purposes. I don't judge you for that. Hey, Joshua. Probably yes. Like, knowledge and intelligence and all that is dependent on human brains, and brains in general. So if all the brains in the world were destroyed, knowledge would cease to exist. I mean, knowledge is kind of a thing that we do. Like, at least that's my view. Hey, there you go, Earl. How you doing, Mom? Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty obvious that knowledge can be destroyed. Knowledge is lost all the time and has to be recovered. So you never tell. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yes, like I'm not trying to be rude to Muhammad, but I'm assuming that, are you Islamic, Muhammad? Just out of context, like I'm just going to kind of preempt it, because if you are Islamic, your origin story for your religion has got to be the most ridiculous I've heard. And I came up with my own for my own God, fangs, that I find equally ridiculous, but I think yours is worse. Okay. I went into a cave. This guy named Muhammad goes into a cave where nobody's watching and dictates, some angel appears to him and gives him this Quran thing. And nobody saw it, but somehow everybody believes it. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm sorry. The issue with God for us atheists is we don't believe it because you haven't provided sufficient evidence to believe in a God. And part of the deconversion issue, and this is why I left Christianity and became an atheist, and that's a deconversion issue for me, is the lack of evidence that any religion presents for its truth. Okay, there's a lot of assertions, there's a lot of claims to truth, there's a lot of stuff, but when you realize, you know what, we're just kind of asserting things without proving it, that's when you start to deconvert. Okay, so yes, we've been there. Knowledge is never destroyed. Knowledge, how is it not destroyed? Like, you just made a claim that knowledge is never destroyed. Do you have any evidence or proof for that? It's a truth whose owner and person blue. What? Like, I'm sorry. Knowledge is something that we accumulate as human beings. And if human beings decided to nuke the planet, all that knowledge would be lost and destroyed. Like, I can even see that's a simple statement. Like, you're making knowledge into this spiritual thing that you haven't bothered to demonstrate that it is this spiritual thing. This is why we deconverted, because of nonsensical stuff like this. Like, we suddenly realize that this stuff is utter nonsense. Like, I'm sorry, knowledge can be destroyed. If a researcher has all this data, files it away on some computer, but the computer is destroyed, and then that person is destroyed, that knowledge is lost and destroyed because somebody either has to rediscover it or whatever. So yes, every time, like, knowledge is lost, destroyed all the time. Like, Earl makes a very good point. Like, it's always that way. Like, if you wipe out an entire culture, all that cultural knowledge of that, the innate cultural knowledge that that person had, has been destroyed and can never be recovered. Like, knowledge of the past, like, people knew things in the past, they didn't pass that on, and so it's been effectively destroyed. So I don't, it's nonsensical stuff like that. Those statements like that, knowledge can never be destroyed. It's like, no, if you really think about it, yes, it can. Like, it gets destroyed all the time. We lose ground. If you wipe out a group of people that knew a certain thing, okay, and only they could have known it, and then they get wiped out, that knowledge is destroyed and lost forever. Like, it shows the lack of depth of thought behind such a statement. Like, you need to really think about that. Like, philosophers talk about knowledge and how it's lost and destroyed all the time. And so, yeah, I don't see that. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you, Jimmy. You're acting like truth is some sort of entity too, as well. Seeing you, no, you're acting like truth is some sort of entity. Like, truth is that which conforms to reality and is adjudicated by predictive power. Okay, so you have to, I don't believe in this cosmic big truth anymore. You got to prove that such a main big truth exists, and you're just, once again, you're making a claim and you haven't provided any evidence. Good to see you, Jimmy. Good to see that you go. Yes, no, it's not. Thank you. I mean, it's like, and Michael's doing the proper response to you because he's basically saying he's just demonstrating how silly your statement is because all I have to do is say no, it's not, and you have to prove me wrong. Okay. Um, no, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, Muhammad. Like I know too much about philosophy to. I mean, I don't have a degree in it or anything, but I've read enough philosophy in my theological degrees, my biblical studies degrees, my political science degree to know that you have to do a little bit more than assert something than prove it that way. So none of you would be here unless I were dreaming. How does that make you feel? Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like that, isn't it? No, but like a lot of us deconverted because of this nonsensical statements where people just state something like it's the truth. They don't bother to prove it. They don't bother to give any evidence for it. Like, and then you're also, Muhammad's kind of demonstrating he's not listening to me because I'm like saying, no, knowledge can be destroyed. And I just gave you several examples and you haven't bothered to counter those examples. So yeah, there you go. But hey, Martin. How you doing, Martin? I thought I got Joshua early. There's more wrong in the initial claim than there are words in it. That's a feat, but nothing to be proud of. Okay. Even with socketed intact, old books and certain knowledge would decay, which is why it's imperative to find ways to preserve it. Lost media is still very much a thing. That is correct, Dragon Rider. Like it's like there's experiential knowledge that each one of us has that is lost when we died. If we don't pass it on, it's gone. Like each one of us has very specific experiential knowledge that we possess, and that is lost every day. Like everyday experiential knowledge of individuals is lost because it's not recorded. It's their viewpoint and that stuff, it's gone. So I think it's demonstrably proven that knowledge can be lost and lost permanently. Like, so this idea that knowledge can never be lost, that's just not really thinking through the issue. And so I think I've demonstrated like that's just not really even true. So so good to see you, Martin. There you go. Yeah, I know. Philbert says we all dreamed into existence by him. I have to agree with Fred. He's kind of like a sick puppy. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh man, it's January, and I just suddenly realized, Earl, are you still there? Like, are you still among us? We need to do a birthday party for Fangs, don't we? Like, isn't Fangs turning 1 this year? Like this month? But we need to do. Okay. Should we do what are we going to do for Fangs' birthday? Isn't his birthday in January? Like, it's January 31st, isn't it? That we first came up with the concept of Fangs. We should do something for Fangs' birthday. If it's the 31st, it's a Saturday. I'm going to do probably a special stream for that. We're going to do a special Fangsology night, and we can say happy birthday to Fangs and all that jazz. So, yes, I thought so. So I remembered. See, I remembered a birthday. I feel so good about myself. I remembered Earl's birthday and I remembered Fangs's. So I'm ahead of the game this year so far. Yeah, that's the other issue. Like, we forget certain experiential facts in our life and knowledge all the time. So, like, not remembering stuff is also lost knowledge and lost stuff. So, the idea that knowledge isn't lost is just nonsensical. That's just a nonsensical notion when you consider reality. So, ain't no such thing as a free Fangs. No. Technically, I suppose you can make that true. Like, you could time travel his birthday, but it is January 31st. Like, and it's his first birthday too, guys. This is like special. This is a good moment. Like, Fangs should be 1, I believe, this year, because we came out with that idea last year about this time, like February was like the first month he was around and things like that. So yeah, I mean, good idea. Plant a carrot. Yeah, going to plant a carrot in his name. So yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with Michael here, Mohammed. Everything you said has been kind of nonsensical to me. Like if you're going to like try to reach out and convert people, you should really understand what they understand and present it in ways that they understand it. But I haven't seen anything you've said make sense. So it's like, sorry, I'm not buying it. Okay. What does this have to do with anything? There's experiential knowledge that all of us have that only I possess. And if I died, then that knowledge is lost. I'm sorry, your idea that knowledge isn't lost is just, it's weird. And quite frankly, it's not really winning over the crowd. So, yeah, I mean, I think we need to plant a carrot. So I'm gonna tell you now. I'll probably do a special stream on the 31st because it is a Saturday, I believe. Yes, so we can have a party day. So we can do that. So I wanted to let everybody know that. I was just thinking about that before the stream. I'm like, damn it, isn't it Fang's birthday this month? So we're gonna do a Fang's birthday party. So we'll see all of you then. Be there or be square. So, yeah, probably. He's getting bigger. Like he's growing, so he probably needs 2 circumcised carrots to protect your stash. Now I'm sure that'll be the case. But it's saying, hey, good to see you, Chuck. Sweet fragrance, what I'm saying, described as a unique non-earthly perfume. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Like there's also plants react to stimuli, so there you go. Once again, is English your first language? Um, and I'm not trying to be insulting when I say that, but it's like you need to communicate better. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm not sure the planets and galaxies have knowledge either. Like, do inanimate objects have knowledge? Like, do thingies that don't have brains have knowledge? Probably not. So they're just doing stimuli, following the laws of nature, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know. There's been a lot. Like, there have been a ton of claims here, Martin, but I haven't seen any evidence. So, so there you go. But yes, we're gonna have a Fang's birthday bash. So I can make nonsensical claims too. Like I've routinely demonstrated with Fangs the nonsensical claims of religion and how they're nonsensical because people don't believe in Fangs, and I just find that disturbing. Thanks, Cranky. Appreciate it. That's one. And right now the slash top hat is winning, which is a rarity actually. So you have to be capable of having knowledge, and you would have to have some sort of experience or want to gain that knowledge in order to grow it. So there you go. Like I'm sorry, knowledge is lost and destroyed all the time, and it's because it's a human thing. It's human knowledge. Like when we talk about knowledge, we're always talking about human knowledge. We're not talking about other types of knowledge. So yeah, yeah, yeah. They're centuries behind, and they just like. I feel like Islamic apologists, like they are so authority driven. Like their authority says that this is good apologetics, and so they just keep doing it. And it's like no, bro, that just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. And I do feel like sometimes they're in the. I don't know if a few centuries is actually accurate. I think it's like Islamic apologists seem to be like behind on just the way the universe works in general. So, which is sad because Islamic, like Muslim scientists often make great breakthroughs, but when they hit their religion, they have to completely ignore that. So, thanks, Josh. No evidences. Actually, me and Cranky were talking about Habermas earlier, briefly. But yeah, but like, well, one of the discussions that comes up about my channel is like, I have really good mods here, and the problem is we get a lot of theists. When we do get a theist, it's usually a troll. Example here tonight. Okay, where they're just asserting things and being annoying and all that stuff. And I don't know how that's effective ministry, effective evangelism, et cetera, et cetera. And if you're going to, like, with somebody like me who's been deconverted now, holy crap, like 10 years, and some new religion wants to come along and convince me of its truth, you got to get past the fact that I've already been fooled once. So you might want to bring your A game, like, and you might want to bring some evidence. You might want to bring, something besides just asserting facts as if they're true. Like, you got to do that for me, because I'm going to be skeptical of everything you say. You might want to say, okay, and I'm trying to help you apologists out if you're listening. I do this all the time for you guys. But you might want to say, okay, this guy is rejected because it doesn't have this evidence, and this evidence. I might want to bring that next time. So, so there you go. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of it's deconstruction format, but it does go to a deconstruction issue. Like, why did we leave? Like, they still continue to miss the point. Like, these apologists are continue to fail until they start listening to the people that deconvert. Now, I don't think they're going to actually succeed, even if they do, because they're still going to have nonsensical bullshit. But you at least have to start by listening to us that are deconverting, Mighty Philbert, as you well know, and understand that we didn't leave our faith because of some bad experience. We didn't leave the faith because we got pissed off, because we couldn't get our way. We didn't leave for any of those reasons. We left the faith because we had analyzed the claims of our faith and found them to be wanting as far as evidence. And until you provide that evidence, until you work hard to provide it, we're going to still be over here deconverting. Okay. And deconversion is a process. So there you go. There you go. So remember the white notes. Yes. Like this? Still my favorite. Still my favorite. Yeah, it's all claims. It's like, and this is why, like, once you understand the difference between a claim and actual evidence and proof of things, I don't like to use the word proof because it's usually a mathematical term, but other people use it colloquially. But until you bring me some evidence and some facts and things that back up your claims, I can reject your claims. So just out of hand, if you don't give me any evidence, I can dismiss it. Invalid knowledge and common. Yeah, it is a common thing. And thanks, Fred. That's 3. Still / top hat is winning. So 2 more to go. If you haven't voted yet. High school was bad. Yes, you left Sunday school because I wanted to ride my new bike with my friends. There you go. Fair enough. See, like, I'm sorry, until you actually deal with the real reasons people say they deconvert instead of making shit up. Yeah. And until you come in with stop coming in with nonsensical claims that you don't back up. I think we're all going to still be sitting here at Deconversion Hangout and hanging out all night because we don't get anybody coming to us and giving us any evidence. Like, this is a common problem with apologetics. Like, they continue to not be convincing to us that are deconverting because we've already found them to be wanting, and they don't want to listen to why we find them wanting. Like, I remember, like, we talk about Low Bar Bill, okay, and William Lane Craig, but the real problem when he said, you should lower the epistemological bar, is he's pretty much openly admitting, okay, that it's a touchy-feely thing. It has nothing to do with facts or reality at that point. And I don't think the damage he did to apologetics overall with that statement, I don't think he realized, because the young man that was asking the question, how do we raise the epistemological bar and make sure our evidence gets up higher so we are more convincing, that's a legitimate apologist. That's somebody who believes there's some facts behind this. That's somebody that's like answering the burden of proof call. And then William Lane Craig just smashed it all. And then he wonders why more people think apologetics is a joke. So, it's like, come on. Yeah, I agree, Ron. Like every time I see a troll, it's like, this is why I deconverted in the first place. When you're a religious person, you sound like an idiot. You sound like the idiot to the average regular person. Like you're making claims. Hey, good to see a wolf. I deconverted because Christians told me Procter and Gamble dishwashing was demonic, and Procter and Gamble admitted this on TV show that never happened. Oh, thank you. I just find that funny, Chuck. I really, I really do. Oh my goodness. But yes, I get it. But yeah, like when you make up stuff, when you create stuff, when you misrepresent what atheists are, like like Frank Turek keeps me deconverted because I've been an atheist now enough to know that atheism isn't religious secularism. Like, okay. And when you make claims about groups of people like that, and and I know that it's wrong, you keep me over here. You keep me over here, apologists. Every time you do that, when you lower the epistemological bar, you keep me over here. When you make up stuff and stories about stuff, you keep me over here. Okay, I stay in my deconversion hangout with my friends, and we hang out with Fangs, and some of you are, I'm sure Cranky is truly and genuinely, he doesn't say hi with the normal hi, and we're not convinced. Okay, we're just not convinced. Okay, and until you raise your bar and try to convince us, there's always well, no matter what evidence we say, you won't believe. No, I've got my standards. So atheism leads to secularism. You're sold. Okay. You're told Pokemon is demonic. Like, how many of you got told certain things were just demonic? Like, I'm very interested. For me, like growing up in the 70s and 80s, like rock and roll was demonic. Dungeons and Dragons was demonic. There was like a long list as a Pentecostal boy, because still, the Assemblies of God was still under the influence of some of the holiness movement. Because when I was a kid, the girls weren't allowed to wear jeans or anything. And then when I became a teenager, they were. Like, that was the argument at the time. Before that, they all had to wear dresses. And, so there you go. But once I got older, the jean girls kind of won. So, and after a while, nobody bitched about it. And so I don't know. So, but yeah, I just wonder how many things were called demonic throughout the years for all of us. Like, TV was demonic, movies were demonic, dancing was demonic. Like, I have no memories of a senior prom because I wasn't allowed to go. Like, because dancing was demonic, because dancing leads to sexual activity. We can't have that. So all those gyrations are going to lead you to boinking. So it had something to do with the company logo, Procter and Gamble. Oh, foreskin or heroic, Martin? Okay, but thank you. All right, thanks for the donation too. Appreciate you guys. You guys keep me going. I remember saying things were demonic, silly me. Yes. Oh yeah, Footloose. I actually remember my pastor when Footloose came out that was what, 82, 83, 1982, 83. Footloose, the movie, the original came out with Kevin Bacon and all that. And I remember the pastor in the pulpit, like all of us youth were there. We had like a youth group of 7. Okay, 7 of us teenagers. And almost all of us had gone and seen the movie. Like, it was rated PG or something. And he got up there, he said, that demonic Footloose, teaching young people that it's okay to gyrate like that and blah, blah, blah. And literally the guy went off on Footloose, the movie, and called it demonic and satanic and everything. I'm like, have you even watched this movie? So there you go. But yes, and now I don't have to do that. Yes, Dungeons and Dragons was demonic. Here, let me. Yeah, you can see how well that's worked for me. So, like, I have a ton of fifth edition books. So, like, because I was big into it. Like, I had all the stuff, and I had my youth pastor breathing down my neck about it. I'm like, have you even played this game to know? Like, well, no, I know it's demonic, so I'm not going to touch it. And it's like, you don't know shit. It's like that. Um, Parents didn't let them watch Power Rangers. My dad also thought Digimon was related to Pokemon, and I almost lost that one too. Oh my gosh. But yes, the stuff that was demonic. I've now come up with a new theory of why people do that. They don't like it when something is more popular than religion, and so they brand it as demonic. Or they're looking for something to hate or gain attention for themselves. It's like, no. The irony of my Dungeons and Dragons days when I had good groups to play with was that I always played the cleric because nobody else wanted to play the cleric, so I'd play the cleric. I also had a weird wild mage that I did once that everybody loved. So Amway had to pay Procter & Gamble $20 million. Evidence found of them taking their sales reps in the Bible Belt. It was giving money to the Satanic Church. Yes, yeah, that's another one I remember hearing, that the Monster Energy drink was a demonic drink. That's more recent, but yeah, it's like there's always got to be this, like, when you get out of this stuff, you realize how silly this is. Like, it's like, no, rock and roll is just music. Dungeons and Dragons is just a game. Monster Energy drink is just an energy drink. Digimon, Pokemon, all that stuff, just a cartoon show, just a card game. Like, you begin to realize how hyperly spiritualized these people have to make things in the world in order to justify their nonsense. So yes. Right. It's just accept the couple that doesn't want to. There you go. Yes, it is. I got Wilford's debunk game. Oh shit, that's been in my background of my videos for a long time. Probably 3 years. I think I bought it when he first came out with it. So you don't dance. Oh, there you go. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? There you go. There you go. See, but like, Earl, I don't know if you like. I think I've mentioned this before, but I was not allowed to go to dances. Like, as a Pentecostal boy, like, it was it's one of those things that were verboten. And the irony is, I wouldn't exist if it wasn't for dancing, because that's where my mom and dad met. My mom and dad, they met at a dance hall because that was a thing back in the 50s and 60s, was dance halls. And so that's what happened. And I would not exist if it wasn't for dancing. And so the irony was that my mom and dad became part of a denomination that they would have never met if they had followed the rules back then. So there you go. And I think Mighty Philbert has just broken the hat wall here. And who's winning? Slash. Oh, that's been a rare one. I haven't wore that one as much, probably a couple times. So here we go. Got to make sure all the cocks on the side are lined up. Ooh, something got on this. Hold on. It's a problem with something being on the bottom. But there we go. So there we go. Made a list of my 10 core conviction things I never compromised. One was the Bible was an inerrant, infallible, inspired word of God. When that failed, so did the other 9. Yes, correct. That is absolute correct. So, but yes. Yeah, I mean, because Earl was a dancer. Like, she's a ballerina and all that stuff. That's something I know about her. So, so there you go. All right, what do we got here? I got another thing here. A gifted membership. Well, thanks, Ron. Who got that? I don't have my reading glasses in, so SCFEC 5570 got a gifted membership. Congratulations. So there you go. Grumble rumble. Yeah. I mean, you get buzz and hit the floor and make a fool of myself. There you go. Digimon is different from Pokemon for several different reasons. Okay, I don't know. Pastor Joe is still playing his Led Zeppelin backwards and now watches cartoons for demonics. Oh, I wonder, is that the same guy I reacted to like a couple years ago? Probably. Led Zeppelin bar. Play them forward, you'll get more out of them. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. There's the hat. Called Mr. Ed was demonic. Yeah, you know what? I think I remember that, Chuck. I get the joke Mr. Ed all the time, but at least I'm a horse, Best way to take things is learn to make fun of yourself. But yeah, I remember that because I think they were just jealous because somebody else was using the idea of a talking animal. Like we got to monopolize talking snakes and talking donkeys. So can't have somebody else using it. They don't have a copyright on it. So there you go. You need to go dancing again? Okay. Yeah, see, my deconversion experience with dancing is because I wasn't allowed to dance, I never really learned how to do anything. My mom and dad, they knew how to dance because they got taught that shit in the 50s and 60s. So they knew how to waltz and all that stuff and everything. So there you go. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm not experienced. In fact, it's one of those things that I every once in a while will put in a profile when I'm trying to date. Like, if you can teach me how to dance, you're already moved up. So, because I don't know, I don't know anything, and so yeah, I'm not sure it's a good thing or a bad thing at this point. Hey, thanks, Josh. Who got that? Yahoo-Ligan got that. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But there you go. But yeah, all the demonic things we were told were demonic, and then when you get out of the faith and realize demons aren't real, yeah, just give me a music and a dance floor. There you go. Imagine being a believer in demons and spiritual and going to watch The Exorcist in the 70s. I was messed up for a long time. Yeah, then you had the horror movies that kind of reinforced everything because they sold. Now, I have always told Christians they were stupid about this stuff. Like back then, you'd have the Iron Maiden covers and AC/DC's cover and everything and the demonic stuff. And you're just increasing sales. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem learning how to dance. I just want to do it with somebody, So there you go. I mean, hey, JL, good to see you. But yeah, it's what's up with you? Yeah. I don't know. We're talking how we used to believe things were demonic, and how different things were told to us that they were demonic, Digimon, Pokemon, Dungeons and Dragons, rock and roll, dancing, a whole list of really fun things, JL Warren, that, that they just, take the fun out of everything. So there you go. I made my hat gold today, so I'm excited. I'm always excited when that happens. I get to wear a funny hat. By the way, for hats, for those of you who are here later, I do have a couple of Valentine's Day style hats. I've tried to also look for ones with bunny ears, so we'll see what happens there. So, so there you go. It would flip your light better. Yeah. See, the fear and terror of the demonic like as a kid. I mean, is that right up there with teaching kids hell as far as being like a fearful thing to tell kids, like telling them the demons are after to get them and all that stuff, all the stuff that goes along with the doctrine of hell? Would that be? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I do. It's one of my favorite. You people like know that I'm a metalhead, right? But I also like any good song with good lyrics that kind of resonate with me. And the other thing that I'd like is sappy old love songs. So like I have a weakness for sappy old love songs. So and I don't know what it is. It's just like there's something, like those old romantic sappy love songs I actually will listen to. So there you go. But that is it. But getting back to the demonic, it's like, yeah, dancing was demonic, but yeah, I remember a lot of fear. Like Ron isn't telling a story that I'm not unfamiliar with, because when I was a kid and all this stuff was going on, I was very much afraid of a lot of things. So yes, D&D. You can see right here that I've kind of rebelled against that. I got like D&D and modern D20 and holy shit. Pathfinder all there on the bookshelf. That's obviously I don't believe that anymore. So yes, there's already a hat. Yes. So yeah, I can buy that. Um to me, the story of Abraham is like, okay, like I remember hearing that and thinking to myself, okay, if my parents believe this, do they believe that they should sacrifice me on an altar? And this was more meaningful to me, Chuck, as an only child, because Isaac is supposedly an only child. He's not really. Abraham had other kids by other women, but as an only child, that kind of like, okay, would my parents like think that that's okay to do it to me if God asked them? So yeah, I can understand why you're messed up there, Ron. But Chuck, I hear you. I had that one. Um, yeah, Jaws gave you nightmares. Yeah, I can see that. Yes, I have seen Mazes and Monsters. In fact, it was shown in my church back then. They got all. That's back when you had the old reel-to-reel projectors. The pastor somehow got a copy from somebody and showed it in church. Mazes and Monsters. This is the obvious problem of Dungeons and Dragons. That sort of thing. That's why. Yeah, it was all about this guy that went nuts because of Dungeons and Dragons and started actually killing people. There was another one like that called Tag, I think, the assassination game, where they took on the at the time TSR had like this game called Top Secret, and you were an agent and stuff like that, like James Bond, and they kind of went after that. Are these role playing games dangerous to the human mind, kind of stuff? And it finds out, you actually do statistics. People that play games and video games are more peaceful than other people. So, Scorpion's still loving you. Yeah, it's a good one. The issue with those savage songs is somehow they make romance sound like torture. Yeah, I know, but I'm still there. So, yeah, is it all you, Damien? Yeah, the Omen was pretty messed up too. Yeah, it never really actually happened. Like that was the thing. Like it was a made up movie. Uh, yes, Tag was the film. Yes, I remember those two. But yes, they did a film debut. But I remember like the plot is like they're playing the assassination game with like those pistols that you use to shoot the darts on campus. And this one guy had such an ego about his ability that, and then this one guy that's completely inept beat him, by an accidental shot. And then the guy goes nuts and starts using a real gun. So, as I remember right. And so there was this whole, I remember the 80s, there was a lot of discussion about whether role-playing games were good for people's minds. And I'm like, I don't see any difference between that and acting. And Christians haven't had a problem with acting every Easter and Christmas. So I don't know what the problem is. But yeah. Old movies as an atheist as part of my. Oh, you have? Okay. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea, Ron. Like it's why like when I was deconverting, like I have this moment where like people ask me, "Did you ever burn anything?" Oh yeah. Like when I was a Christian, like I remember like getting all this conviction stuff, and I would burn all this stuff, and like the books, the games that I had that I burned are now worth a lot of money. And so, yeah, yeah, Time Bandits is a good one too. The movie that left lasting impression for a few hours after it was over was Brazil. See that happy end, and then yes. Okay, all right. I figured as much. Otherwise, you would have sent me a picture or something. So that's fair. It might be good for. We'll plan on a Saturday reveal, Earl, and if it doesn't work out then we'll do it some other time. Hated the video games will let Jack Thompson, who was spouting that by mistake and got disbarred. Yes. It's not as near as frightening as a non-believer. It's actually probably silly in some ways. Like as I've gotten older and I look back on some of that stuff, it gets silly what I thought. So cleansing hour. All right, there you go. That's a new one for me. Some legit superstition. Yeah, there was some, but acting eventually made its way into the church in the form of pageants. Like you have the Christmas pageant and then the Easter passion dramas, and um, the church actually started using drama to an illiterate population to do the biblical stories in front of people to reach people for the church. So drama inside the church has a long history. Like it's and so when they started coming out against role playing games, I'm like, what is the difference? Like, what is the difference? So it's it was kind of a weird thing. And I remember having those arguments with my pastor at the time when I was a young teenager and later a young adult. It's like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And it's kind of that it doesn't make any sense to me. And so, well, what else doesn't make sense in Christianity? And the rest is history. And, like some of you know my story. So, like 10 years ago, I gave up on Christianity, and 9 years ago, I gave up on belief in God. The only problem was I was still in the pulpit. So, so there you go. But there you go. Yeah, almost all actors were male, so they had to play. Yes, it's them damn kids. How dare they do new things? Yes, but that's an interesting thing because Christianity was like against homosexuality, but they didn't want women acting. I always found that very interesting. Yes, yes. Earl is an insufferable perfectionist, Fred. Leave her alone. I leave her alone. She starts to snarl at you if you get after stuff for stuff. She bites. So you got to be careful with Earl. Treat her well. Treat her nicely. Give her head pats, and she'll purr. Trust me. Be mean to her, and you risk your life and limb. Well, the most famous one, Coyote, was oh gosh, there was an AC/DC song that you played backwards, or was it? Oh gosh, was it Quiet Riot or somebody where you played it backwards and it said "We serve the devil" or whatever, and all that stuff. And I remember there was a couple of guys named the Peters brothers that went around church to church and place to place, and backwards masking was like one of their chapters, and they would show all the times that when you play an album backwards, you got demonic messages. And it's like, Okay. So, yeah, but they already did that. Michael, there's a game called Dragon Raid. Go look it up. Um, Dragon Raid. It is the Christian version of Dungeons and Dragons, and it did an absolutely shit job, which is why most of us that played Dungeons and Dragons wouldn't play it. It had really cool dice, though. Like the dice were cool. Like, but yeah, go look up Dragon Raid. The Christians actually did this. They did a Christian role playing game called Dragon Raid. Go look it up. You'll be entertained, Michael. You'll absolutely entertainment. Reviewed by Michael. Those are two fully grown men talking like children about ghost stories. Yes. You slapped somebody to work today for rushing you. See, I know better. I like if Earl, my hand is coming near you, it's to pat your head. Okay, I'm not trying to stop you to do anything. Do it, dude. Look it up. Dragon Raid. Dragon Raid. RAID. Look it up. It's probably got an entire wiki. So it's there. Oh, that's the Beatles' White Album. That was satanic. I remember that. Yeah, played forward. Like, why did they do the backwards thing? Well, they did it because they needed backwards messaging. Like, if you play any recording backwards long enough, you'll probably hear something. You might even hear advertisements for various products. I don't know. But the whole idea of like sneaking in these subliminal messages, and then it was funny because once they started doing it, I remember certain bands like, oh, yeah, shit, we'll do that on purpose. Okay, and they started to put backwards messages in their recorded songs on purpose, just so they could piss off the evangelicals. It was hilarious. So, I had the entire set of Dragon Raid, Jail Warren. My parents actually paid for that because they wanted to get me out of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I'm this good Christian boy, never got in any trouble, but they were worried about the fact that I was playing a certain game. And it's like I never understood that. But Dragon Raid, to explain it a little bit, like a lot of role playing games, it has a system, okay, but they tried to use like the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, peace, all that stuff in Galatians as your principal skills. You had a strength and agility skill, I think, and then you had all these different things that were like mathematically depending on your level of love and stuff. And then the whole thing was about like you'd face a giant and it was a temptation to alcoholism. Like you're directly talking about kids getting into alcoholism and how they need this spiritual fruit of the spirit to overcome that. And that's what the game was all about. It was like, and you had to, the real problem for a lot of us role playing gamers at the time is like, the reason you did paper and pen back then, it was absolutely open world. Like you could do anything, be anything. It was open world before the idea of open world gaming was a thing. And Dragon Raid had to be so scripted to get these spiritual counters that people that were into RPGs like myself just hated it because it was just bad. It's just a bad system. So she said snapped. Oh, snapped. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Either way. Either way. Yes, Helter Skelter. Yeah, that I seem to remember something of that. Led Zeppelin. Yes, My Sweet Satan, Led Zeppelin backwards. Ozzy Osbourne. Yes, definitely satanic, biting off the head of a bat and everything. Like, I think Ozzy Osbourne did what he did at the time because he knew Christians were against it, so he just did it to get it. Yeah, he kind of did that too. Jack Schick. Oh my God, the Schick tracks. Oh my Lord, my church was full of those. Just oh my goodness. Like I remember being handed the first one. What is it? His most famous one was "This Was Your Life," and it like chronicles this guy who's a sinner. He dies, and he goes, the angel takes him to heaven, and it doesn't matter what you believed was true about reality. This is the real reality, and he ends up burning forever. And Jack Schick, man, his cartoon, like the problem I had is I thought his cartoon style was okay. It actually had some talent to it, but what he used it for was just bullshit. So YouTube also mentioned it. Building warriors for spiritual. Yes, it was a spiritual warfare thing. Like you're trying to develop, this fruits of the spirit so you could be more effective in spiritual battle. And so it was like they build it as an allegory. Dragon Raid was built as an allegory of the Christian life, like Pilgrim's Progress. There was other books that were allegories that C.S. Lewis did, like Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and all that stuff, where they took inspiration from that. And like you're preparing young people for spiritual battle by learning different things, and you face different temptations and how you help your friends get past temptations and stuff like that. So that's kind of what it was. Was an operation so people would destroy their records playing backwards and have to buy more. That's probably true. Yeah, Charles Manson decided it was about race, but it really wasn't. I was pissed. Just because patient shows up later doesn't that mean to entitle them the time, not a lot of them. I scored the shit. Okay, there you go. There you go. You just worked through lunch? Okay. And like we had a bar called the Tilton Hilton. The floor is tilted, a demonic place with great hamburgers. But yes, but yeah, the jail, the whole Dragon Raid thing still fascinates me to this day, because on the one hand, they're sitting there talking about how role-playing games are demonic, and then they're coming out with their own. But yeah, oh man, I just so remember this, because I remember playing Dragon Raid and thinking to myself, I get what they're trying to do here, but the system is so shitty. Like it's just basing something on the spiritual fruits, the fruits of the spirit just did not work. It just did not work. It is definitely based on spiritual warfare. It's definitely an Ephesians 6 game. Like the whole premise was because you had like your spiritual fruits would go into that thing, like your shield of faith score. You had sword of the spirit score. You had breastplate of righteousness, gospel of peace, helmet of salvation. The whole bit was there too, where you took certain spiritual fruits and you combined the numbers, and you had to do math and everything to get a score. And you gained, what is it? Sword of the Spirit was gained by quoting Bible verses in the proper context. So like, because they didn't have magic, so they had to replace that with quoting scripture in certain contexts caused the monsters to lose like hit points and stuff. So you had the aspect of, learning and memorizing scripture, because you had to memorize the sacred scrolls in order to, like literally they're teaching kids that quoting scripture is like casting magic spells. It was hilarious. So you're thinking she was my boss for the last few weeks. She learned today she is not. So better game than spiritual Christians. Yeah, I guess. Several. My mom didn't make me read them, but I did buy them. Like I had all of Jack Schick's comic books. Like he didn't just do tracks; he also had comic books. But most of the time, he's just talking about how the Catholic Church was demonic, which I don't know if it's demonic, but it has its problems. So there's that. But yeah, I remember getting Christian comic books. They're still out there today, by the way. I just passed one in where I work. There's like a Bible, the Action Bible, which is a Bible directed at kids, and it's a comic book style. So there you go. Ugh. Oh yeah, I mean, Christian demons are ridiculous. They knew I'm a God, yet they set themselves against such power. Ridiculous. Well, yeah, but that was an idea populated by a lot of people. So, but yeah, it's horrifying. I had a lot of things horrifying in my life. I mean, I don't know, but Jack Schick is like, he remains one of the great indoctrinators of our time. So, because he used comics so effectively. Yeah. I got about 15 more minutes and I got to get ready to get out of here because I have this thing called work I have to go to. You know, working overnight, being a Walmart elf, restocking the shelves for all of you later. But yeah, Ron, I think I relate to you on this. The horror part of my childhood, like I had really good parts of my childhood, like my parents weren't really helicopter parents. I'm probably typically Gen X, very feral. But living in my small town here that I still live in, like I go down to the creek and skip stones and fly kites, and there's a lot of good parts to my childhood where I'm just like enjoying life. But it was the church parts that became horrifying, like the hell thing, the demons thing. But once I got into the teenage years, I started to realize some of this is just people's opinions, and I started to fight back a little bit, and that's led to a lifelong being skeptical of anything. I mean, it's horrifying. Yeah, it exists though. Like, look it up, Earl. It's called the Action Bible, I believe. Like, you can look it up, and this is what Christians do. You can buy it in a Christian bookstore. I'll bet money. I'll bet money right now. But like, they take like the David and Goliath story and make it, like they skip over the parts, all the bad parts, of course, and they just do the stories. Like it's all the parts of the Bible that have an action oriented focus, like storms and Jonah and the whale and all that crap. I've seen a copy of it, but it's like, and it's the Action Bible. So, but yes, they do. They do that. So. Oh, all of us. All right, Kyle, how much money would you have in your bank account if you didn't spend it on stupid Christian shit? Like, I'm thinking how much money I lost, like over the years, just buying stuff like Christian books. Like I remember when I left the church, I'm like looking at my pastoral library, and I had a lot of books. Like when I was a pastor, I had a ton of books, and I'm just looking at all of them and I'm thinking, man, I'd like all this money back. Like, you gonna write a book about it, Ron? There you go. I would. No, dude, listen, I encourage this sort of thing. If you want to relay your experiences to a new audience, write a book about your experiences of how Christianity just scared the shit out of you. So yes, tithes. Yes, tithes. I had to pay tithes. That is like a requirement. So I'm like thinking like 10% of my income from 1987. Actually, before that, because as a kid, I used to tithe off my paper route when I was 12. So I don't know, probably at least a lot of money. It's a lot of money, plus all the stuff. You want to be a feral housewife? No, I was just a feral kid. Like my parents trusted me a lot, and they had good reason to most of the time. But yeah, yeah. If there's a way to milk believers, somebody's already done it. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I honestly, yeah, I think Ron, actually, you should do the book. Like, I think you should write a book about it. Oh yeah, because you had the regular tithe, you had the tithe for the festivals, and then you had the one third tithe every third year for the poor. I remember that. Like that was a doctrine in some churches. Feral Housewives in here. I think we already have this. I think, guys, like, there's definitely a lot of feral people that want to meet you. But I believe that, like. Yeah, there's probably some feral housewives out there already, Earl. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I Now that I passed 50, like for the last 6, 7 years, I've been getting those notifications in my side panel that every man over 50 gets all the time. It's like, local areas, girls in your area want to F you right now. Like, sure they do. Sure. I believe that about as much as I believe Christianity. Thanks. So there you go. Oh my gosh. My parents probably should have trusted me, but they did. Shouldn't have trusted. They did. There you go. Feral Housewives of New Jersey. There you go. Oh my gosh. Feral House. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I see what you did there, Michael. But yeah, I like it. When you look at your past, oh my gosh, all the stuff that was demonic, all the stuff that is it now you look back and oh my God, all the money I spent, all the time I wasted, all the opportunities I set aside. This is why I end my show the same way every time. Because it's just like it's all the bullshit. Like the guy who tried to talk to us earlier tonight. It's like, dude, you're not even making sense. Like that is some of the most nonsensical stuff. And like you look back at it and it's like, man, oh man. Oh there. Yes. So there you go. But yeah, it's oh my goodness. Don't throw away your time. It's too tasty. This is why we keep you, Evan. The dad jokes. You are the designated dad joke person. Too filthy to be. Talk filthy. Now we're not against that here in the Fluffle, Michael. Like, can we take that idea of feral housewives to the Fluffle as well? I mean, I'm sure we can. I just have to wait. I'm good at lamb chops. Good on lamb chops. There you go. Oh yes, but we keep Evan around for the dad jokes. He's the designated dad joke person. So talk Fluffle to me. There we go. Can we get Poison to redo the song and change the words? Oh my goodness. Oh man, what a great group. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll have to get Poison to redo the lyrics to that song. Talk Fluffle to me instead of talk dirty to me. There you go. I mean, come on. The cult of this entire channel is based on a rabbit. So something's going on with rabbits. So oh my goodness. Oh boy, folks. I do have to leave though. Their work is calling. And so I have to kind of get ready. There you go. There you go. Sounds like a fun evening project. There you go, Earl. There's your inspiration. We also should do something nice for Fangs' birthday. I think we need to treat Fangs rather well for his birthday. So, new national anthem. No, I don't know if we're going to change the national anthem. Kind of set that in stone. So, all right, folks, I do have to go, unfortunately, but it's been a great night. I'm glad we had a good discussion about all the silly things that we used to think were demonic. And now we just kind of look at it as silly. It's amazing how all the things I was taught was demonic are still part of my life. Like they're right in my apartment. So there you go. But oh yeah, he was here earlier. Yeah, he was here. Well, we're about to end, Paula Gia, but I'm glad you came by. Yeah, I got to go because I've got to go to work tonight. But yeah, it is usually the place where we hang out. But thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you. Unfortunately, I got to go. Yeah, you got fangirling. So, but yeah, there's beautiful and brilliant people here that hang out. We're also a little crazy. We spent the evening talking about all the things when we were Christians that used to be called demonic, and now are part of our lives. So, so yeah, but yeah. Oh, I don't know if you saw the Rancor Seeker. I don't know. Did I send you that, Paul? Here, I can pull that up real quick. There you go. Earl had to add the Rancor Seeker too, Paul. So there you go. And then we also had. Did we put that in the overall? I do believe I did. So there you go. There you go. So he's way up there in the corner. So real Rancor Seeker has been added. So yeah, there you go. So there you go. There's a close up. So there you go. Yeah, I got to hang around a couple more minutes to do that, but yeah. Oh man. But yeah. So there you go, Paul. Just for you. I had to get back at him because I don't know, being called inspired by Satan, I think the gloves came off for me. So so there you go. Thanks everybody. But I do have to run. I do have to say sorry. I'm on at 7 these days, so 7 to 8 usually during the weekdays when I'm on, and then I'm on all night on Saturdays. So as long as we want to go. So I'll see y'all next broadcast Saturday. We'll be reacting to something. I don't know what quite yet, but yes. But there we go with Rancor Seeker on the board. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate all of you. I want to highlight all the donations tonight. Thank you, Cranky. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Fred. Martin, the mighty Philbert was here. Ron for the gifted membership, and Josh for the gifted membership. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate all of you donating to the channel and keeping my work going, normalizing atheism and deconversion. That's one of the funny things that I do. So thanks everybody for stopping by. And as always, may fangs nibble on all of your hearts. May he purify your vegetables from religious corruption with his pointy teeth. And, make sure you leave a circumcised carrot out for fangs. On your stash, because he might take the carrot instead of the stash. I can't guarantee anything, but it's worth a try. Just remember, Fangs is a trickster god, and he likes to do mischief. And if you approach him that way, you'll be fine. And nom nom and all that. And I also have to conclude, live your best life. You only get one go around, and then it's over. And so you want to take all your time, your money, and opportunities, and don't waste them on the trappings of religion and place by thinking everything is demonic, but instead give them to yourself, give to the people you love and care for, and to make this a better world. You'll be happier if you do. And so thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'll see you all next time on Saturday. I don't know who I'll be reacting to yet, but I'll find something, and we'll have a good time at 7 o'clock on Saturday. I'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll catch you next time.